I will call us to order. What is it? 5:32, it looks like. So Lydia, I'm not seeing you, but I'll just say, so I'm Christy Willard. I'm the chair of the board, and we generally start with a roll call. And I ask people what they're reading. And what I wanted to do too, since we have at least one new person here, which would be you, it would be great if at that point you could just say like 2 minutes worth of who you are, and we can do the same. Would that be all right?
Oh yeah, that's great.
Okay, so Olivia, why don't you start us off? What are you reading? Who are you?
I feel like unprepared because I can't actually remember the name of the book that I'm reading right now. It's the fourth one in a series by C.J. Cherryh, and they're all like Fortress of Owls and Fortress of Eagles. I can't remember what the fourth one is, but I've really loved the series. I like C.J. Cherryh anyway, and have read almost all of her books at this point. So I'm enjoying that. It's like a fantasy novel.
It's great. I look forward to getting to know you better. Olivia, good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, hello. I guess for a new member, I'm Olivia, and I've been on the library advisory board, I think since October 2024. I just finished a book called The Starving Saints, and I really wanted to like it. It's like a medieval horror novel about a castle under siege and some saints that are summoned to help alleviate the starving populace. And I wanted to like it 3 stars at best. So I won't like say don't read it, but you know, if you saw the book, it's here at the library, so it was okay. But that's what I just finished reading.
Thanks. Not a strong recommendation. Mark, how about you?
So I'm reading a book called Yesteryear, and it's about a woman and family that are in a reality show about kind of a farm life and so on. And she's transported into 1855 and has to live life in 1855. So it's kind of an interesting speculative fiction. Worth reading. I'd give this one a 4.5. So I guess you could read mine instead of Olivia's. And do you want us to say a little bit about ourselves to introduce?
Sure.
Yeah, so I'm Mark Johnson. I'm a lifelong Anchorage resident. I've been on the library advisory board since August 2024, I believe. And like all of us, super huge library nerd.
Wade.
Okay, I'm Wade Hampton Miller, and I'm reading The Last King of California by Jordan Harper. And he's a writer that's getting a lot of attention recently. I read his latest book is called The Violent Masterpiece. And that's one of the ones that the library didn't have on order, so I bought it and I'm gonna turn it in.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, Fairbanks has it, but it's less than a year old, so you can't get it on
Right.
interlibrary alone. This one is from Fairbanks.
Oh, is it really? Okay.
So I've been a member of the board for what, about a year now?
Yeah.
So that's about all the I'm married, and I have 2 adult kids. And I play music at St. Mary's Episcopal Church.
And you represent Eagle River for us.
I represent Eagle River Chubiak, right? I live in Peters Creek.
And I'm Christy Willard. I've been on this board for such a long time. And I've been chair for too long, so I am giving up my crown as soon as I can. I think we talked about October. I'm also turned out unless I decide to re-up. So this has been a wonderful experience for me. I loved libraries since I was a volunteer librarian in the Dillingham Public Library, which involved loaning books to fishermen and getting them back smelling like salmon. But great readers. So that's us, and we'll be glad to meet you in person next time, I hope, Lydia. we start here by acknowledging that we gather on the traditional lands of the Dena'ina Athabascan people who for more than 1,000 years have been and continue to be stewards of this land. So it is with gratefulness and respect that we recognize the contributions, innovations, and contemporary perspectives of the Upper Cook Inlet Dena'ina people. With that, you've all been able to see the agenda. Does anyone here have anything they want to add? And if not, would you like to move to approve the agenda?
I move.
I second.
Second, all in favor, please say aye. Same for the minutes of if you'll note that the minutes we're looking at are from May, not June, because June was a bust for the board because we did not have a quorum. So these are minutes from 2 months ago. If someone would like to accept them and take them and put them over, that would be fine.
Look right to me. I move that we accept some.
Anybody, there's a second?
I'll second.
We're looking to the screen.
Yeah.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
I am looking around. Sorry. What? Somebody said something.
Yeah.
Oh, that was just an eye for the agenda and minutes.
Oh, she said yes for the minutes.
Excellent. I see nobody that I think would be here for public participation. We generally have at least one and sometimes two different presentations at this point in the agenda for staff, which I love. We decided not to do that. Two staff members were perfectly happy and ready to do it, but given the need to spend some extra time on the budget and also on Margie's monthly reports, since we have two of them, we decided to store up our minutes for that. So nobody has any disclosures to my knowledge?
No?
Nope, neither do I. Anybody else? So it looks like we have careened very quickly to the budget discussion.
All right.
So it's up to you.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So I think last time, because I wasn't here in May, Molly presented a presentation on the budget to kind of give you guys an overview. And so I believe that the homework was to digest all that and then come back and give us input, most specifically on the capital improvement plan, capital projects, but also I really would like input on just your priorities in general as far as the budget goes. And so I think what we can do, and let me see if I can share the screen. I gotta go back here. Share. I think it's this one. This one? No.
Is that in the, going to show us in the PowerPoint piece we're looking at?
Actually, I think I'm not sharing my screen. I'm sharing the whole PowerPoint presentation, but that's okay.
You can stop sharing and go back and just do your sharing.
Okay, there's stop sharing. Let's do that again. Okay. Share screen. Choose what you want to share. There we go. I want to share this. Excellent. Okay. I think this list will help. And so Lydia, I think I can just give you a little overview because I know you weren't here last time to learn.
Oh, that'd be great. Thanks.
Okay. So we're in our budget cycle right now. And so what that means, so typically we start in May thinking about the planning process, and in early August, we have to submit all the budget documents. And so that includes an operating budget, and then that also includes capital improvement plan. And so every year we have to submit a capital improvement plan, and it doesn't mean that it's necessarily accepted. And so if you remember last year when we kind of talked about this, and your number one project that the library board recommended was the Mountain View Library remodel. And so we did present that as our, mentioning that this was library advisory board's preferred project, and then kind of went from there with a proposal. That one was not accepted, but it wasn't ignored completely. It was just that they had limited projects that they wanted to move forward. And so last year, or I guess you could say this year, the design for the second floor children's was moved forward, and that passed. So yay. So that one was just the design. So this year, what we have on our projects list, and so there's a couple other ones I kind of want to add to the mix, and then maybe get input on what you think. Now, a lot of these, as far as what we would move forward, might be contingent upon timing and, well, I'm going to say mostly timing. So for instance, the LUSAC grounds, that project, we're waiting to work with the Midtown Community Council on Cuddy Park's master plan. And so as soon as they're ready to go, we're ready to go with them. And it could be next month. It could be, I don't think it'll be a couple of years, because I think they're ready to start moving forward. But we can't do anything yet until that happens. So it's on our list, and we're excited about it, but we can't move it forward until we get to that piece. And so there's the second floor construction, which is primarily the children's area, and this is at LUSAC. And that is what passed recently with the bond for design. So we intend to, coming up next year, to work on that design plan. So hopefully we can get input from you all in that process. But that's not the construction. So once we have the design, because the facilities department has said that they would prefer, before we go to bond, to have a design so that we have an accurate estimate. Because sometimes, I guess in the past, what has happened is they've gone out to bond, and then you put the design together, and then it turns out it's much more expensive than was originally planned. And so then you don't have enough money for the project. So that is what we've been told to do, is design first and then construct. So we've got second floor construction, and then the third floor design and construction. And I think Molly may have mentioned this last time, but the third floor design was supposed to happen this year, and it just never did. And so it had to do with funding and moving money around. And by the time that all happened and was put in place to start the work, we were too late, because we were supposed to have everything done by July so that we could make that our proposal for. So that one now, unfortunately, cannot go forward to 2027 as a construction project, because
the third floor one.
yeah, because we don't have the design. But that is what this is. And third floor is primarily adult, and would include replacing the carpet, the lighting, removing all the shelves, because we have to do that to replace the carpet, and then restructuring everything. It would include the Alaska room, the Lowell Thomas room, all those things. The fourth floor design and construction is something that is also on our list. Fourth floor currently is mostly administration and learning commons. And so it would most likely be a renovation of the Learning Commons area and what that could all look like. And then the HVAC is from the 80s. And I don't know if you all experience it as patrons, but I know in the staff areas, it's hit or miss. Sometimes it's freezing and then you walk next door and it's boiling. So anyway, it really needs to be updated, but it's very, very costly. And so that's why I think it hasn't moved forward yet. Lucette Grounds is, I think, like I mentioned, it would be sort of a partnership with doing something with Cuddy Park and creating walking paths through our library. So an easy access from the sidewalk through so people don't have to walk through the parking lot to get to the park. And then also, I guess there's some, what was it called? The archives? The area that's near the library that was like an old archives building. Okay, I don't know. I've heard people refer to it as the old archives building, but they haven't decided, the city hasn't decided, I guess, what that use is going to be. And so we're hoping to, depending on what that is, to incorporate that into the plan. Let's see, Mountain View Library remodel, that was the one that you all picked last time. And yes, it still really needs to happen. Muldoon Library and Transit Center, that's another one that's timing centered. We're in the process of working with transit on a study to have a combined transit center and branch library within the site. And that's what, hopefully, if we can go to Muldoon in October, you'll hear all about it and get to give input on that. And then South Anchorage Branch is something that we would all love to have. And so that is why that is on the list. And the other two that I wanted to add that aren't here would be the fountain, because it really has been brought to my attention recently that it could go any day now. It's one of those that it's very costly. And so I guess just as far as what you all, just to understanding of priorities on these, where the fountain might fall in that. And this is the fountain at Lucette.
Does that mean disintegrate or?
No, well, it would, if you wanted to repair it, to make it what
Make
fully,
the fountain again rather than a sculpture.
Got it.
yeah,
Because they made the pipes too thin for the Arctic. That's why it's so dysfunctional. The sculptor did not make the pipes for the water big enough to work. It's supposed to be a year-round thing with ice in the wintertime.
oh, I see, okay.
And, but he wasn't thinking of Arctic conditions or subarctic conditions. And so it worked for the first year or so, and then after that it stopped.
And then I also heard that when it was working, there were safety concerns about kids.
Climbing up on it.
Yeah. So anyway, we had a big conversation about it recently, which made me realize it's not on our list. And I would just like to know because I really have no idea if that's what priority the community would think that the fountain plays in all of this. And there was another one that I was thinking of that wasn't on this list either. Well, anyway, if you all can think of any other major capital projects. So Lydia, what this is, capital improvement projects are the big projects that we would go out to bond for. These are ones that would not fall into our operating. We could go out to bond, or we could try to get a grant, or we could ask the foundation to maybe fundraise for them. And so, but the ones that we present to the municipality within the budget process are things that we're saying we would like to bond for.
By bond, you mean
Voting on.
Yeah,
that put a specific number against the project, take it to the public, right?
yes. And so last time, oh, here's some previous bonds. This was part of Molly's presentation. But last time, I think, where is it here? Okay, so when Molly presented, we were at the beginning stages, because that was May. And now we're kind of running to the ending stages because we have to submit this by the end of the month. So, but we were leaning towards, because our plans didn't work out as, it didn't work out as we had planned with going forward with the third floor design, because the design never happened. And so because we have so many things needed, we're like, we don't want to go a whole year without something. So, we thought the LUSAC HVAC replacement we could propose, and then also completing the design, because the amount of money that we have for it will only get us to 30%. But I can tell you, we sat down with the facilities manager or director, and he was saying the third floor completing the design probably isn't necessary, that they could estimate the project fairly well with just 30%. So we kind of think that then we might as well just go forward with that way instead of confusing the public with design versus construction. And then the LUSAC HVAC, our question with this LUSAC HVAC was, we don't want to, is this something that has to be done as a whole? Or can you do it like when you do the second floor, can you do the HVAC on the second floor? When you do the third floor, can you do the HVAC on the third floor? And what he said was that it really should be done as a whole.
Yeah, because it's the whole building.
Yeah, that there might be pieces. So what he felt like was, if we could bond for that, we might not know exactly how much it would cost. He could get a very good estimate. But when we got to the second floor and the third floor, when we were doing those projects, that we might be able to work within those projects if we realized we didn't estimate it correctly, I think is what he was saying. So that is what we had originally thought. So I guess to go back for your input, do you have any strong preferences? So like what we're thinking now is, since we want to go forward with something, the only thing of all of these that we can go forward with now would be the HVAC, because we don't have a design for the second floor, for the third floor, for the fourth floor, for the grounds, for Mountain View, for Muldoon, or Anchorage Branch. So that really is the only thing that we could go forward with. And we could have the designs for the second and third floor next year and make it one big project, is what we kind of talked about, whereas before we were gonna keep them separate, but make it one big project, and then the following year take those designs and go to bond. That's kind of our discussion.
I think
And
that
so
sounds like the sensible, yeah, course of action.
Okay.
I have experienced the, hit or miss HVAC at the LUSAC, so.
You, okay. Well, we were wondering about that from the patron perspective, because you ask staff, we're like, well, yeah, we all know it's a problem, but we're like, I wonder how. And somebody said that on the third floor that they know patrons have experienced problems. So maybe you were on the third floor.
I'd also say, all the other things being equal, HVAC just seems to be common sense, most important in
Okay.
terms of, to me, that all these other things are nice to have,
Yeah.
but HVAC that's a fundamental part of your structure.
And that's a good perspective. And it's interesting because I know some people say that it's not like maintenance, and it's not shiny and
Yeah.
fun and all that. And so sometimes whatever's not shiny and fun doesn't often pass, but it's true. You have to have the basics before you can have the shiny and fun. So yeah.
So as you were talking through the things, HVAC is the one I dialed in on before you said.
Was it? Okay,
So-
awesome.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think that's the most important at this point.
Great.
I had some questions.
Yes.
One was, in the second floor construction, you said the bond for the design passed for that.
Yes.
So what does that mean in terms of? If that passed, does that mean the money is there for the design for that kind of holding, or because we didn't use it last year, it's lost, or I'm not sure I understand how the bond process works.
So that was one that was just recently on, the
Oh,
ballot.
so that was this year.
Yeah, it just passed.
I
And
had last year in my head, okay.
so it just passed. And
So is this use it or lose it, or?
well, so we'll have the money to put a design together because the bond passed. And so, so we're planning to start next year. And we're supposed to do the third floor design this year, but like I was saying, that there were money issues. We ended up getting enough to get to 30%. And so when we talked with the facilities director about possibilities, he was saying that, yeah, it could be possible then to do the 30%. That's great. And then we could do a second floor and third floor design. And
Together,
yeah,
yeah.
and I think that would even be better because
Yeah.
sometimes things overlap. And so that would be, and then get input on those projects. And so
The
then,
design should overlap, actually, so, yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Cause even with fourth floor, that's what we're saying, cause with the second floor, we've got a lot of staff for the children's, youth services staff have offices on the fourth floor. But if we can take the whole second floor and redesign it, they would much rather be on the second floor so that they don't have to go up to the fourth floor and down to the second floor. And so then that would leave opening on the fourth floor for, so once we can figure out the second and third, then that would be a good time to jump to the fourth.
It's also more efficient to have an architect design all three at the same time.
Exactly.
That makes sense too. Yeah, I'll write that down.
Right. Start constructing the sales pitch.
I know.
Are they wanting a ranked choice vote on any of these? Are they wanting some priorities or just the primary? I guess not strategically, is it useful to just lay out our top priority or?
I think it's helpful because last year it really was helpful because we went in and said the library advisory board main priority is Mountain View, even though, it just didn't fit in with the plan. But I think it really is important to let them know what your priorities are. And this year, I would say with Mountain View, it probably wouldn't be the best idea. Because we've got so many different things going on there right now. I'd rather solve some of those issues before we move forward with a project.
Sure.
You've got security issues and yeah,
Yeah.
things like that. So,
They did get the sidewalks fixed.
oh, good. They got half the sidewalks fixed.
Oh, only half?
Yeah.
Oh.
But by the end of the year, they'll have the other half. But yes, that was one of the things too, that the sidewalks were falling apart as well. We actually had like an injury and stuff on those sidewalks, so. Yeah, so am I hearing that HVAC is a priority?
Yes.
Okay,
So,
okay.
So let me ask
And-
people behind. me.
Yeah, let me go back to this, there you are.
Lydia, do you have any questions or things you'd like to add?
No, I think that all sounds good. I can tell you, I've lived in Anchorage since I was 5. And the fountain has only ever worked intermittently that entire time. So I'm not super attached to the fountain of all the things.
Okay, I'm putting a down arrow down. Anything else from you or Olivia? I'm hearing a unanimity here. I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm also in the HVAC priority group.
I think it's much more important than the fountain.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, that's kind of cosmetic at this point, it seems to me.
I know, it just might be, Well, it's yeah,
Might be what?
a big thing though for some people, the fountain. I'm not really sure what the history of
Been
the
a
fountain is. Yeah.
It was cool.
Yeah.
While it lasted for about 2 years.
That's right.
Okay. No, it's good to hear your input because I don't, yeah, because I am more for HVAC too,
It's like
but
40 years ago, it was briefly a thing. You know, it's not anything now.
okay.
Some people thought the stairway was, this is before your time. Not you. I was thinking
Oh,
more
that's
Big one from outside.
But yeah, but I think some people mourned its passage, but
Well, the building looked like the Star, you know, the Star Trek or USS Enterprise, Starship Enterprise, and that was kind of cool.
that was cool.
Is there anything that we don't have on here that you think we should either add to this list or keep in mind? Like a big capital project?
Do you hear anything else from the branch libraries that would make sense to you to add to the list to think about?
Well, that's a good question. So Eagle River, they have talked about, Eagle River is really growing in use. And I mean, their programs are always at capacity. Their circulation and door counts are increasing. And so I mean, I've talked to Stephanie about what would that look like and if, we were to expand, I don't know, so there has been talk about possibly the need to expand in Eagle River.
Expand the physical space?
Yes,
It's pretty big as it is.
you think it's pretty big as it
I
is?
think It is, but I mean, I don't know if Stephanie wants more room.
I think more programming space, I think she was thinking would be ideal. I think if ever any of those buildings or like office spaces within their current building become vacant, it could be an opportunity to grow within its current spot,
It's
but
pretty full up though. There's a
yeah,
pediatrician in the space right next. It used to be an empty space, but now there's a children's doctor there. And then to the right of the library, if you're looking at it, there's the hallway down and there's like a Eagle River Town Center meeting space behind there.
yeah.
So I don't know where it would grow, because you've got the Alaska Club in the building.
Right, that's true. So I don't know, but that has been, one, talk about that. The other thing I was just thinking of is, so we're in a 3-year strategic plan right now that, so we're coming to year 1 of when we launched the work groups. And at the beginning of 2028 is when I think we would start strategic planning for the next plan. And so I really would like to have that be a whole community input thing, whereas this time it was more internally focused. And so I think the next one, it would be really great to be externally focused as well. And then we could ask. We could see what the people in Eagle River think, because right, you live in Eagle River, you use the library and you're saying maybe not. So that's interesting. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know what Stephanie's seeing, and it's not like she has shares confidences with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally agree about moving toward a community structure for the next strategic plan. I mean, I think it was good to, as much time and energy that was put into it now is all you could spare really, because it needs to be internal, but
Yeah.
that would be a good time to think ahead too, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So should we take a vote?
Mhm.
Did you want to vote on,
Would you to make a motion on this vote?
I had a couple other ideas you're asking.
yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah.
so we now, I've never seen them, so I'm speaking out of turn, but apparently in Diamond Center, there's some book lockers.
Yes.
And Eagle River also, is that right?
I don't know if there are or not.
Not yet. There's actually been talk about wanting.
But
that
I
there.
was wondering if there's, thinking to the future, do we want to have more small scale options like
Mm,
Health Anchorage Branch you know, we all miss what we used to have and don't have anymore, all the little libraries all over the city.
Mhm.
But it, you know, it seems like a far off dream at the moment, but
Yeah, I
if
would
we
agree.
can think about smaller scale achievable ways to get more library services out into other communities,
Okay,
something like that. And I
Well, we
guess,
do have the mobile library now.
yeah, we do have the mobile library now, and
How's that doing?
it's doing well. We launched it, let's see, we were in the Pride Parade. That was our first parade. We were in Bear Paw too. And
I
that's,
stay away from bear.
oh, okay. And so right around the time that we were in the Pride Parade, we started going around to, like Fairview Rec Center and different places. And, so I guess we're finding that I mean, it's taking staff away from and the buildings, and in the summer, we, I guess, are short-staffed, or it's just, so, I don't know, it's, and we want to get more stops, and so if you have input on that too, as far as, I was wondering if maybe we could make that an agenda topic sometime, but to get input on maybe what you would like to see with the mobile library, because we can go to places like rec centers, we can go to senior centers where not everybody's invited, it's just would be for the seniors, or, you know, even detention
Should we
centers.
actually go River Senior Center could use that kind of this.
Okay,
That's, my wife goes to exercise classes there, and it's a very busy place.
so that could be something, but I think what we're coming up against is that with the staffing, because even with Bear Paw, it was pretty much I mean, we can have like one staff person driving the vehicle, and then most of the time it's volunteers, and so if you don't get volunteers, it's not, but we have a vehicle so we can drive it, but, you know, it would be really nice if because I live in Eagle River, so I was there, and it was fun, it was great, and everybody shouting, "We love the library," and I was thinking how it was a reminder, somebody said, "I'm going there this afternoon," you know, so it's like, oh, it's kind of like a reminder to people, oh yeah, we have a library, or, oh right, I gotta go return my book, or I remember somebody said, "I got a fine," and I'm like, no, you don't, because we don't charge fines.
That's right. Book in the library on hold, but the Bear Paw started, and I just don't go down that area.
Yeah.
Because it's just such a mess, all these people parking everywhere.
It was very crowded, very packed. But I guess my thought was it would be really nice if the branch staff could have been there, because they didn't recognize me. And even, I mean, I live in a, but I don't work at the branch. And so, and they didn't recognize the person who was driving the vehicle, and, you know, and also I was holding a banner with another staff person. They didn't recognize her. So it would be nice to be able to have the branch staff, but that was something that they had to be open. And so we're like, well, how do we do that? So we're talking about maybe next time we could go in and help in the library so that they can go be in the parade, you know, something like that. Yeah. Something like that. But anyway, but yeah, there is the mobile library. To smaller scale, kind of like locker or vending machines. I know that there are vending machine options too, things like that, where you can pick up your books that way. Yep. Okay.
I talked with someone and, oh, where was it? I might have been a Phoenix library I was in. I think they were saying they worked in a small library in northwestern Washington State where they had kind of like a enclave
Mm-hmm.
outside of, you know, kind of like banks have for ATM machines.
Yeah.
And stuff. So there's all kinds of creative. options
Yeah.
out there. But they cost money.
I know
Yes,
they do.
But
I keep thinking if we can somehow end up with a facility in South Anchorage through some way, maybe we could, but who knows? And so if we're done with capital, we can move on to the operating, or is any other capital projects that you guys want
I'd
to?
like to take this vote.
Okay,
I
sure.
need to make a motion.
Your turn, look,
hmm,
make a motion.
I'm sorry, I missed you.
We need a motion to vote on our priority for capital improvement projects.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
A second.
Okay. there you go.
Is it, do you want to
What is
like your
your
top
My
three
motion
maybe,
is
or
to
your,
Vote on the, yeah,
Priority.
yeah, top three is probably reasonable.
that would be helpful.
Oh, we do want to do top three, okay.
Do you want to, I don't know, I wasn't sure what you wanted the motion to be, but
Well, I mentioned earlier, do we want to have more, do we want to sort of rank out some? And it seemed to me that you were saying that strategically, it would be better not to do that. Because that way, we're putting all our eggs in one basket and that might go better. If I misunderstood, tell me.
yeah, I don't know, I think, I don't know about ranking all of them, but I was thinking if I had your top three maybe as a whole of which ones, or maybe 4 or 5, or how would you want to do it? Or you could rank them if you want. It's just that a lot of this is going to be timing, but meaning when we move them forward. But if you want to say which ones, regardless of timing, are the most important, that could be helpful.
Let's stick with 3 then, so.
So that's outside of HVAC being number one.
So I think the HVAC would be number 1. I mean, if that's what you guys want.
And then if you can combine the designs together,
Okay, so we got
Right.
HVAC and then
Second,
second and third,
And then the Mountain View library remodel.
and that's what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how you feel about it.
I think that's reasonable.
They've been waiting for a while.
Okay.
Right?
They have, yeah. Would you agree, Christy?
I think I'm looking at it. Either that or the fountain.
The fountain, really? Yeah, okay.
Olivia?
Olivia, let's go back.
Anybody?
Yeah.
What are your
I live in
thoughts?
Fairview, so the Mountain View Library is actually the closest one for me.
Okay.
So I'd probably go HVAC, Mountain View, and then the second and third floor design.
Okay. So we've got the same 3 things, just not necessarily everybody's same order. If I think I'm hearing that correctly, or the fountain is added too, is that correct, Chrissy?
No, I don't-
No, let's not clutter.
that's not.
Okay.
Let's see. the design. Go ahead.
I
go
was,
ahead.
I was, oh yeah, sorry. I was just gonna say also my ranking was HVAC. And then in no particular order for 2 and 3, Mountain View and Muldoon.
Oh,
So you
Muldoon,
can put
okay,
those in whatever order is helpful.
got it.
HVAC at the top.
Muldoon. Not really get Muldoon.
So we've got HVAC, second and third floor kind of combined as one, and then Mountain View and Muldoon. Those would be the 4. And I'm not sure if you want me to present like, this is our number 1, this is our second, or if you just want to say we think HVAC is the most important and then these other 3, or I'm not sure.
I would say HVAC is number 1. Second and third floor is number 2. Mountain View is number 3. And then Muldoon is number 4.
Do you want to make that a motion?
I make that a motion.
Oh, I don't know. I think his motion is still out there.
Oh,
Somebody seconded it.
Okay.
Okay, so did everyone hear Wade's motion, for the priority that we're prioritizing HVAC as number 1, second is combining the second and third design projects, second and third floor design projects, followed by Mountain View remodel, followed by Muldoon Library. comment about the motion? If not, is there a second?
I'll second.
I'm sorry, I can't tell who is who. Who is that? Who made the
I
second?
was, I was a second,
Okay,
Olivia.
thanks. We don't see. Okay, all in favor of the motion?
I'm,
Aye.
I,
Okay, motion passed. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Go forth and conquer with this motion.
Excellent. We will bring your wishes to the mayor. Okay, and then the, kind of what I was hoping for the operating side of it. So something that we do internally with staff is ask them, like, what their priorities are. Through the strategic planning process, we identified, staffing and security as our priorities in general. So we say typically outside of staffing and security, what do you consider your priorities? And we give them some general options. Youth programming, adult programming, facilities, technology for patrons, things like that. I guess what I was wanting to do something similar, maybe with you all, which would be, because we may have to look at budget cuts. So wanting to get an understanding of what your priorities are would be for the library, and maybe just in general sense, like the physical collection, the digital collection, we've got different services that we provide. I mean, one of them would be the mobile library and outreach. We have computers, reference, readers advisory, printing, copying, application assistance, notary. That's it. Girdwood. We've got our hours of operation, like whether we're open in the evenings, whether we're open on the weekends. Our community rooms, meeting room access, we have a shared catalog that's part of the consortium, just to give me a general idea of what things either you think are very, very important for the community that we wouldn't necessarily want to touch or lose, and are those things that you think like, huh, like some of you said with a fountain. You know. So what would you say?
I would say the physical collection is very important.
Physical collection. All right.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yep.
I'm an old person that does hard copy books. So maybe not everyone agrees.
I mean, the physical circulation is going down, but also it's still higher than digital. Okay, what else?
I didn't keep in my head all of the options.
Well, I was just throwing out different examples, but like, just if you were to think about, oh, is there anything off the top of your head, like, absolutely, I love, like, we should have this, or,
Well, keeping the library open on weekends is very important.
like both Saturday and Sunday?
Well, if possible, and branches aren't open on Sunday, but Saturday for sure.
And what are your thoughts about branches being open like in the evenings or not? I mean,
That helps the kids, that are studying, but they're not open that late now. At least Eagle River, I think, closes at 6.
right, that was something we were talking about, is maybe opening Eagle River in the evening, because we have had patrons ask about that. But we would probably have to move things around, like change because at the moment we'd have to add an extra position in order to do that, and so, but yeah,
I think it would be great myself.
okay.
How about staff? Are there programs or staff positions that you think we need kind of bumping up?
You mean like,
Like other programs, projects? I mean, I know we've been hearing every month about these wonderful things, the libraries. Is there something that you plural, would really like to do, but you don't have the money at the moment?
There, yes, there are a lot of things I know. I I know, and unfortunately, I think we're now in a situation where rather than what are new things, like if we do something new, we probably have to take something away, you know? And I was gonna get in my report because we're in the process of restructuring. Um, and I don't know if Molly or anybody mentioned it at the last meeting, because that was, I think it was in the, oh, it was probably in the last board report, so. Um, so we have been able to address some of those things through the restructuring. So that will help us grow and things like that. So I'm hoping for that. But like if we wanted to add hours, let's just say anywhere, it would mean that we would have to add,
That's something else.
right? Yeah,
Which is unfortunate, but probably inevitable.
right. I know. So what do you think, Olivia? Do you have any opinion on what you like the most about, or what you think the community would appreciate? Or Lydia?
I would love to see like outreach and
Okay,
the mobile book, the bookmobile, maybe to
Mhm.
help people, just to be able to get library cards. I was actually talking to my aunt yesterday, and she is in her 70s and she loves Kindle books and like she listens to audiobooks all the time. And she didn't know that the library has like Libby and Hoopla.
Oh,
And
wow.
so she's got to go to the library in person because her card's been expired for so long. So we're actually doing that on Saturday.
Okay,
And I'm going to get her set up with the app. But I was just thinking about how, sometimes it's not even just, outreach for people to learn about physical things that the library does, but to be able to get a library card because they happen to be at an event. And then to learn, like, you don't even have to physically come into the library. You can rent, you can, check out books online would be a good thing.
yeah. Well, that's good, because we did talk about that outreach is really good to share what the library is all about, and especially for those who may not realize what they're missing, or that they didn't know about it. And so I
That's
know.
really true, that's, like, say frequently with the presentations that we get here. We do that, we do this as well.
Right,
Oh,
yeah.
Especially the value of Fuqua and Libby is just amazing for people, especially if they have difficulty for any reason getting here. They want to access those programs, so.
Yeah.
So if you're seriously looking at potentially having staff cuts,
Well, cuts, it doesn't,
Hmm.
staff would be the last thing we would want to cut, but
oh,
budget
okay.
cuts.
but you're not talking staff cuts.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can find efficiencies that would
Right.
mean that we wouldn't have to do that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what we're hoping.
So in terms of priorities, I think personally, I think there should be a priority based on children's services. I think
Okay.
there was to encourage, and I know the libraries have a lot of programs that are also great for people in my age bracket and higher too. So I don't want to cut us out, but the children are.
So
That's what
services
people-
for children, maintain those.
Yeah.
Yep.
My mother was a children's librarian.
uh,
She had people kind of pull books
Well,
off
if-
the back then.
Yeah, if you've got the children's program, then you're building adults who love libraries like me, right? And you've got grandparents bringing children in, parents bringing children in. So I think those are always a good priority.
Okay. So right now I've got physical collection, evenings at Eagle River and maybe other branches. I've got a focus on outreach, mobile library, getting library cards in people's hands, and making people aware of our services like the digital collection and then children's services.
Children and youth. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's just youth, yep. So if we had to charge, I'm just gonna throw this out there, if we had to charge for printing, so currently our printing is 10 pages are free. And then after that, it's 25 cents a page. What we're finding is that most people print less than 10 pages, so it's not really costing them anything. However, when we ran how much it costs, like if we actually charged for printing, it was a high dollar amount that we would be saving. And so I guess that was one of my questions is I don't know how the public would react necessarily, but if we were to charge for printing, would that be something that you think, like if we could gain roughly $25,000 by charging for printing, like a year, would that be something that we should consider?
I think you should consider it, definitely.
If I remember correctly, when I lived in Kenai, I think it was 25 cents a page,
Okay,
and I always paid it
yeah,
if I needed something.
okay. Yeah,
I'm thinking that, I'm thinking that there might be another way to think about it, to say, you know, the first 4 pages is free or something like that. Somebody really needs to do their resume and to get a job, or, you know,
mm-hmm,
it seems, you know. I just bought printer's ink for my house.
it's so expensive.
So
Yeah,
I have an understanding that if you're looking for a job or for, you know, just it's a really valuable service for the community. I wouldn't want to cut it off altogether, but maybe there's a way to
okay,
Limited.
limit it to, you know, what somebody needs, just get the job done.
okay.
Maybe something like that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. 5 pages instead of, what was it, 10?
10, yeah.
Make it 5, yeah, that's fair.
One of the other things we were possibly considering is, because currently we're being charged at the color rate because it just automatically comes out, whether it's color or black and white. And we can't control, I think, whether or not, yes, I want color, no, I want black and white. And so that's why it was set up the way it is. But in looking at how much that's costing, it's like, well, what if we just said you can't print in color at all? It would reduce our costs, but I don't know how the public would feel about that.
I mean.
That you'd be more
the-
okay with that one than the other.
assumption I was making, I mean, if somebody really needs to print, they don't need to print in color.
Okay, all right, so,
Is there a way, if there are multiple printers available, of like making all of them except for one black and white, and the one that is color, you pay for every copy on the color?
yeah, that might be an idea. I'm not sure logistically. I'd have to ask our, I guess our IT
Yeah.
to see how that would go, but yeah, I'll write that down as a consideration. So.
I work in a law office, and you know, people forget to print in black and white. And so that's how it's set up in our office. We only have a couple of color printers you have to select.
Okay, I see, but then one set aside for color. Okay, we can see how that goes. I just know that at Lusac, well, I think at Mountain View as well, and maybe at Muldoon, I don't know. The computers are used quite a bit, and so if there really was only one for color, I'm not sure how long that line might be or something, but we'll have to figure it out.
You're actually watching the clock. Go ahead.
Oh, right.
Go ahead.
I love the service, but if we had to do budget cuts, I'm
Mhm.
sure interlibrary loan must be expensive.
So much.
Oh, good, don't cut it. So I'll tell you.
I know library law was here a couple weeks ago.
I'll write it.
I didn't say that. So-
You didn't say it. Well, I mean, when I mentioned the consortium and the shared catalog and all that, because a lot of what the cost is with that, it would be the shipping and back and forth and stuff like that. So, which isn't really our standard interlibrary loan is, so when, when we had the presentation on interlibrary loan, this Lena, I was gonna say, it's not Lydia, it's Lena. When Lena was here, the standard interlibrary loan really is outside of the consortium. That would be what we call interlibrary loan, but just kind of the cost within the consortium. A lot of the expense is moving the books from place to place. Yeah.
Let's avoid touching that for as long as possible.
Okay, so we want to say ILL is kind of like, don't make it go away. Okay. Let's see, anything else? And just so you know, like our programs are all funded through the Friends of the Library.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, so that's good. It's just, it's not anything you can cut because it's already not in our budget.
Mhm.
You know, the Friends pay for it all. Thank you to the Friends. Okay. Yeah,
We're ready to move along.
Okay.
To, next agenda item is the meeting calendar, which we had an idea of moving this around a bit this year. I think it's very accurate.
And I spoke with, because my understanding was you wanted to meet at Eagle River and then maybe one of the other branches, but not Girdwood this year, Girdwood next year. And so I, talked to Stephanie at Eagle River and she was thinking August. So if that would be next month, so if that works,
that works perfectly for me.
okay.
It's all about you. I know.
And then, October, I think I mentioned Muldoon, because if we would like to get your input on that project, and I think that would be a good time to be at the branch.
Sounds fine. Anybody have problems with getting to these branch,
I have a car.
branches? Yes, you have a problem getting here, but branch.
Those both work for me.
Okay, good.
Right.
Yeah. That's good.
Okay, that
And so
sounds
those
good.
are the two this year, which is, I think it's good to just have a few every year and not try to sort of bounce around too much, but that's good.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. And I know we've been wanting to put them on the calendar so people know ahead of time. That was kind of my hope, is that I think then we'll just schedule it out and we'll have July. Well, July obviously is LUSAC, August Eagle River, September LUSAC, October Muldoon, November LUSAC, December LUSAC. And then maybe at the end of the year, we can select the locations for the whole following year. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, I think then that's solved, so you can do your double monthly reports.
Okay, double monthly reports. All right, let's see. Ooh, let's see, June, I guess I'll start with June. Oh, wrong one. June. So June, I think just some things to highlight in June. I was gonna highlight the mobile library that we launched, things then. And so we started with our public stops in June and then the parades. So that's good. Oh, I'm on, board report June, activities for May. And I'm on page 3, where we just talk about the mobile library. And so the mobile library will have its first public stops in June. Most of May was kickoff with the summer discovery and all the youth programs and things like that. Very kind of busy month. If you look at the statistics and all that, it's kind of with a lot of things happening, because that was when we kicked everything off there. But really, I kind of wanted to talk about the reorganization or the new organization plan under recent accomplishments. Because that's something that came out of the strategic planning process. We created a work group and we did like a full, we did the vision, the mission, the core values. We did a full review of position descriptions with staff, and then kind of looked at what are we doing now? Like, how is it current? Is it not current? Are there things that we need to put in here that aren't in here? What are the percentages? And then how are things aligned? And so, and I'm not really sure how much you know about our current organizational structure, but it was not very well aligned. It kind of evolved during times of positions being eliminated, and then who's going to supervise this person. And so, we have our automation librarian supervising patient services, and our budget coordinator supervising facilities use coordinator. I mean, it was just kind of not aligned. And so and we were trying to do something in a budget neutral environment where we could grow. And so what we ended up doing was moving pieces around, and then we created so some of the gaps that we saw were one in another work group was cross training. And so one of the things that we learned was that we've got these single points of failure, and cross training is needed. And so what hopefully this does is creates these groups where now people can be cross trained and back each other up. So for instance, the automation librarian now will be technology and online services, and the person who manages the website will now fall under that person, whereas they don't. They fall under adult services right now, and then interlibrary loan will go under that. And so it'll be technology and online services, and that will be the focus. Patron services got moved out of there, and now adult services, youth services, and patron services are all together in one group, and they would report to the assistant director, and that person will be the LUSAC focused person, because that was something that came out too, is we don't have anybody who's just LUSAC, and a lot of the LUSAC things would fall to me, and I'm not always in the building. I'm out and about, and so things that could have been taken care of semi-quickly are not. And so this way we'll have a LUSAC focused person. And that was the other thing, is that we needed a branch focus. And so the community resource group is now going to fall under what is called branch and community services. And so we could grow in the mobile library outreach, community resource, and branch area, because we're going to be adding in a downtown library and things like that. And so there'll be a branch coordinator, and there's a focus there. So all of these things were kind of moved around, and we're working through the process now of making the transition process. So by the end of the year, everybody should have been moved to their sort of appropriate supervisor or division, is what we call it. But it's happening in stages as to what works best for the staff. So like the interlibrary loan and the web services librarian will now move over to technology, but that's happening when not necessarily, it's not all happening at once, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So each division is working on their own, but by the end of the year, everything will be moved. So we are excited about that. Oh, one of the things that we added in that was the security focus. So that was another piece that what we were able to do was move the facilities use coordinator under the facilities manager to create a whole facilities division and then add an additional position under there. And the way we ended up doing that was through by utilizing the budget that we have for contracted security. So we got permission, we were able to use that money to create this position. So we'll
So
have
it's
our,
internal.
so now we'll have a position. Yeah, that was one of the things that we identified. Wouldn't it be nice? We all agree we need uniformed security, we need that presence, but wouldn't it be nice if you could have a different type of monitoring, somebody who's plainclothed, who can develop a rapport with you and
It's built
gets
into the organization.
yes, exactly, reliability, consistency, you know, because we have a lot of regulars, and so you get to know that person, and so that was what we were thinking, is well, a lot of times if you develop a relationship with someone, then it's easier to behave. You don't want to disappoint them, right? So that was one of the unique things. So it's been a process and it's taking a little while, but I think by the end of the year, I mean, because it has to be done by the end of the year because the budget's kind of changing and that's the way it is. So we were told, do it now, get it done, and then we can focus on new things for next year. So yeah, so there's that. What else? Oh, I just wanted to point out under reference questions answered, what in the world? We had 8,828 reference questions in May. That is huge. I don't know what people were asking, but that is huge.
Where's that?
Oh, under our statistics. We've got core services by the numbers.
Oh, got it.
All this, yeah, I was just comparing the May statistics with the June statistics, so that one just really jumped out at me. Okay, let's see, June, that's this current one. And yep, we're going strong with Summer Discovery. We had Magician yesterday, today's Wednesday, yesterday, yeah, that was busy, and I guess because it's raining, it's extra busy. What do I want to highlight? I like the fact that, so on page 2, our community resource group partnered with the Office of Citizenship Assistance to run the Mountain View Library Resource Fair during the month's edition of that partnership, so that they were able to have a DMV table there. And my goodness, they had 102 patrons at the 4 branches, so that's going well. I was part of the downtown Summer Solstice Festival with Outreach. And we talked about the downtown library, which I have our little board over there, but I'm going to share this. Let's see if I can. Okay, downtown library. This is a lead into my segue. So this is just this really isn't exactly what it's going to look like, but this is the front of the building and we will have a sign there. And right now we're waiting on approval of the name of the library. There's a part in the trust that says that the library shall be called the AOT Anchorage Original Townsite Library. Our policy is that, and we all have been calling it the downtown library. So we proposed that we call it the Anchorage Original Townsite Downtown Library. So that's what that is. We're still waiting for approval on that. And so we have a whole website. If you go to our website and you type in the search box downtown library, you'll get to this page. And so I'm just going to scroll down a little more to the bottom. Like we've got all these frequently asked questions. So Misty Rose, who's our communications coordinator, and I and Elizabeth are going to be going out and talking to a bunch of different groups. We're going to the Chamber of Commerce, not next Monday, but the following Monday. And so I went to downtown summer solstice, and so we're gonna be working with the downtown business partners and things like that to share. So this is our website. We're waiting on the project management team to give us some more information so we can put it here, but the bid has been awarded. And so I think it's going through the contractual process. And I heard we should have a timeline in August. So this is the layout of the library. And where are my little renderings? Here we go. These are kind of the renderings. So this would be our collaborative space, which could be used for meetings. It could be used for quiet laptop use, kind of like the puffin room here at LUSAC. Could be used for programs, so a lot of different things. This is our rendering of the youth space. This big wall will have interactive activities along the wall. But you can see it's kind of small. And then this is the loungy area with the adult materials over there. And if you go back to the floor plan, so this is the door, you kind of come in the side, this is those adult collections there, this is the meeting area. We've got a very small computer lab, so we're gonna have laptop checkout that people can either sit over here with or go into this room here. Everything along the wall, these are all shelves for collections. So we did prioritize collections because that's what we heard people wanted. And so this is the children's area or the youth area. This will probably be more teen stuff, and then the rest will be younger. These will all be collections. So we'll have like an Alaska collection, and we'll have popular materials collection, and then we'll have your regular fiction and nonfiction. This is like a help desk. So there'll be a staff person here assisting. There'll be another staff person here assisting here. So you kind of have a view of the door as well as the computer lab. And then here it would be more of the children's area and the rest. Over here is where the security station will be. So hopefully they'll be walking around, but they could be here, and then they should have sight of all the spaces. So that was the idea there. These will be single stall restrooms that will be controlled by staff. So that this will be our first library that's like that. Like we haven't done that yet. So we'll see how that goes. But we weren't able to fit. We had so many different iterations of this, and we weren't able to fit long bathrooms. Like it just took up too much space. So we ended up with this.
What's that big gray area above it?
This is a stairwell. So staff will have there's supposed to be 4 parking spaces back here. So this will be kind of, I think, deliveries and staff entrance going into here, coming out here. And so this will be locked. So if for some reason patrons go down this hall, they won't be able to get out. But that is a semi-concern because it's like this long space, but this goes into a staff area. And so, oopsie. And so this is the staff area here. This is the branch manager's office as well as storage. And that is because when we got public input, one of the comments were like, why is there so much space being used? You know, like, can't you create more space for the public? So we ended up losing the long bathrooms and getting, reducing these areas. The building is a shared building, and so there should be a break room and everything within the building. So it's like, okay, I guess we can, work with it that way. So that was how that became there. So yeah, so that's the,
When, maybe this is bad luck too, but when do you think it will open?
so they're supposed to start construction, I think, in August, and there's a contingency in the contract that says it has to be completed by right around the end of December. I can't remember the exact date, but so it's supposed to be done by then. The grant funding has to be completely spent by the end of the year. So that was the reason for that contingency, was so that all the money is spent. Because we don't have money outside of that money, so
Okay.
it has to be spent.
I have to go.
Oh, yes.
So carry on.
Okay.
See you in Eagle River.
Yeah,
All
see
right.
Eagle River.
See you next month.
So this is located in a tourist central area. I
Yes.
heard you say that there's an Alaska portion of stuff. I'm
Yes,
guessing that'll get heavily used, right?
that's what we're hoping, because that was, when we asked people what collections they wanted, they said children's collection, which is why we end up creating a larger area than we originally had for children. And they said an Alaska collection. We want to get into deeper into what that means, like fiction, nonfiction, authors or content, not really knowing right now. But
Probably with the thought that that's where, you know, people on foot and tourists be able to see.
yeah,
And you're also right next to that little log cabin visitor center.
yes,
So you'll probably have a lot of synergy
Yeah.
there with sending people back and forth.
yeah, that'll be neat.
Yeah.
When I was there for the downtown summer solstice,
Mhm.
and they put us right in front of the building, which was so great. So when
Oh.
people came over, it's like, this will be your library. And so, and it was amazing to think that like next year, when that's happening, we will actually be in the library, and so people could come visit us and there'll be a lot of foot traffic. And I also was surprised at how many people stopped by the table that were not from Anchorage, just to say, I love libraries, and thinking that it was cool. So.
This is-
Yeah.
this is wonderful.
Yeah. So that's neat. Yeah. So, we hope to open 2027 in the spring. I think we're thinking of maybe like, with, April being National Library Month,
Ooh.
like something like that. At least maybe the ribbon cutting then. What else? Let's
Just a
see.
note is that there's not a quorum anymore. 'cause by the-
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh,
But I don't think we have any more action items, so. Okay, Julia Quinn is coming to visit that's our author visit. So the author of the Bridgerton series.
Oh,
So people are really excited. Yes, we made that announcement on July 6th. It was out, so it's out there now. We can talk about it. What else? Oh, okay, so digital collection. So we had to make some changes to Hoopla this year for budgetary reasons, and we made changes based on a survey that we took last year, and so we're doing a follow-up survey now. Some of the changes we made, I think, are preventing people from accessing the resources, so we kind of want to get input and see what we can do, but Hoopla is very expensive. It's a pay-per-use type of platform. It costs a lot more than like what it does to access Libby. And I'm guessing it's partially because it's pay-per-use, it's just more expensive. And not as many people use it, but there are some definite Hoopla lovers. And so we're trying to figure out how we can make that fit within our budget. And that is one of our challenges. Is there anything else that you want me to elaborate on from the report?
questions or other comments for Marjorie on her 2 reports? Hearing none. Board comments. Anybody have anything they wish to say for the good of the order?
welcome to our new member. So welcome, Lydia.
Thanks. I'm so excited.
Yes, me too. I'm very glad to meet you this way, and we'll see you in Eagle River.
And did I hear, Lydia, that you said that you live near Mountain View or that you use Mountain View, or was that Olivia? I couldn't.
I do, yeah. I live in Fairview,
you do,
so
okay.
I'm right
Okay.
next door. I'm actually
Excellent.
super excited about the downtown library for the same reason. I work part-time at Fifth and L Street too, and my mom lives like a couple blocks from where the downtown library will be, so we're all thrilled.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I loved the Lusac Library downtown when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was in a different place, wasn't it? Or where was it?
Was it in the Lusac building? Like somewhere kind of close to there.
Oh, right, on the corner.
It was where the Egan Center is now.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be great. So, I guess we got it close to end, but just, we're supposed to, receive early funding from the foundation to hire the branch manager so that we can get that person on board, before 2027, so that they can then hire their staff and set up the collection and all that. So we should hopefully make that position like announcement. And these are going to be posted internally, so there'll be a lot of movement. That's part of the reorganization, is that we decided that a lot of these positions would be internal only, so that it would create opportunities for staff to move around. Some won't, because there won't be movement, like people probably, there wouldn't be, but branch manager one, we do think that they'll be there, and the branch coordinator one, and yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, there's nothing else we will say to each other. I will. Ooh. Adjourning in 2 minutes to 7. So. 58. Everybody go out and enjoy what's left of the sun today, which I was not at all expecting this morning. So we'll see y'all next month.
Bye.
See you in Eagle River. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.